happens? Why is it wrong? What happens to the maize growers in Y that year? Since the maize in Y will kudiba. Kudiba is our local word here, meaning that if you produce something and nobody buys, it's kudiba. So if the maize from Y this year kudibas, because in X this year they have got their own maize. What happens to the maize growers in Y that year? Since the maize in Y will kudiba, have no buyers, the farmers will migrate to coffee, a product that depends on the global market and does not have those hurdles. Then next year, there's a shortage of rain in X, and they want maize from Y. Sorry, the farmers were betrayed, and they migrated to other products. This is the problem. The correct approach should be that maize from Y should not be blocked, even if there is a bumper crop in country X. Let the market determine the maize that will be preferred by the consumers. If it is found that maize producers in country Y are cheaper consistently, then let East Africa allow them to specialize and feed all of us. This is what I said about Tanzanian rice. If Tanzania produces rice more cheaply, let us all buy from them. Stopping Tanzanian rice makes us commit several sins. Sin number one, you sabotage the Tanzanian rice grower by denying him market. Sin number two, you rob the Ugandan consumer by forcing him to buy rice from the inefficient Uganda rice grower at a higher price, because you are punishing the Ugandans to buy more expensive rice that it is because it is from Uganda. Sin number three, you invite Tanzania to counter-block our products. Sin number four, you claim as our own rice growers to remain inefficient and therefore not competitive. Okulemaza is to cripple. Because if you don't allow your child to run and compete, how will he develop capacity? Therefore, let all the East Africans insist on full free trade in the East African community area and eventually in the whole continental free trade area, CFTA. This is the second task of the Ugandan wealth creators. Struggle for the completely free trade in the common market of East African community and Africa. The first task of the Ugandan wealth creators is to ensure that all the adults engage in wealth creation in the four sectors of commercial agriculture with the Kibaro, Chura, Otita, Aymar profitability assessment, manufacturing and artisanship, services, and ICT, using the provided funds of PDM, Emioga, GROW, UDB loans, etc. The third task, after we have fully recovered from the adverse effects of corona and other negative global phenomena, ensure that we provide completely free education for the Ugandan children in government primary and secondary and tertiary institutions, so that we achieve our target of Bonabasome education for all. The fourth task is for the Ugandans and other East Africans that have got the right spectacles to see how the black race can survive as a free people, or even survive at all, to struggle and bring about the creation of the East African Federation. We have long proposed the movement of the willing. When Mwalimu was let down by his contemporaries on this issue, he moved with Mzee Karume to unite Tanganyika and Zanzibar to form Tanzania. It has been a great success. If we all can move together, it will be good. If we cannot, let the willing move. The crucial point that needs to be done is for the Pan-Africanists to be more active in pushing for the struggle for the political federation of East Africa and for the full economic integration of the common market of Africa. You should aggressively expose those who work for foreign interests and are always diverting our people through the media to the interests of the foreigners. If you read the papers, nobody is talking about African integration. You pick the papers. Papers, social media. What is your future? If you don't know that integration of the market is our salvation, then how can you be in leadership? What are you leading? Are you a leader unto darkness and death? How can it be that you read the papers? Nobody. Football, music, cinema, I don't know what. Okay, you can do those things, but you must survive first. You should aggressively expose those who work for foreign interests and are always diverting our people through the media to the interests of the foreign parasites. The African race will enjoy football and music better. I am a footballer myself, you remember? However, from 1966, somebody asked me, what European football club do I support? I said, what? Me to support, I don't even know those clubs. I am a footballer, I was a footballer, but from 1966, when we started our struggles here, my mind is on the future of Africa. I like football. But you cannot have football if you are a slave. You cannot enjoy it. The African race will enjoy football and music better if you also contribute to the creating of an African center of gravity in the form of the East African Federation. Task 5, eliminate corruption in the public service and from among the political leaders. I've been getting good information about corrupt actors among the public servants, but also among the political actors. With firm evidence, we shall crush these traitors. Corruption is... Are you hearing me? You are hearing. I think the corrupt have brought rain. You know, they work with our rainmakers. I have been, this is not in the speech here, but I can mention to you, I have been hearing that people, even in my office, take bribes from people to bring people to see me. Can you imagine? But fortunately, recently we arrested one of them. He's alleged, according to the rules, I should not be accused that I'm saying something sub judice, which is in the court. He's alleged to have extorted shares and money from an investor was coming from somewhere. He's now in court. So we are moving. We are going to get them. I have been hearing stories that there is a racket from the Minister of Finance to Parliament. To Parliament. I have been hearing, but now I have proof. Nolwekyo ababbi bafudde bannange I have been hearing that from Ministry of Finance, they arrange with the accounting officers of ministries to come to Parliament, working with some people there to provide certain funds, provided you take a share. I didn't believe this, but now I have proof. So therefore, really the corrupt are like the foreigners. You know, some of these foreigners don't know Uganda, don't know us. When you see them doing what they are doing, and those who support them, I'm very sorry for them, because they don't know how strong we are. We are patient. We don't overuse our strength. But if you make a mistake, you will see. So I don't know how those who threaten us, this one, please, we are wasting your time. We are not going to move. Because we are sure, we are people of here, this is our land. We want nothing from anybody, so you are wasting your time. Don't come with the threat, you are wasting your time. Uganda is a land of martyrs, but not only martyrs, but also heroes. We are celebrating 2 days. Because the martyrs don't shoot back. But we are both martyrs, but also heroes. On the 3rd, we are celebrating Martyrs' Day. On the 9th, you remember 9th, you come. We shall be celebrating Heroes' Day. We are fighters. Nobody can play around here. So I feel really amazing that some of our people can join this corruption, knowing that we have the capacity to crush all this group. So now I have got proof that what I've been hearing as a rumor is actually true. So I don't know how we can arrange, what do you call it? Amnesty. No amnesty. Very good. So you want blood? Mwagala musayi. Kale katugende mu maaso. Public servants and political leaders that steal government money are corrupt and will be crushed. There are, however, other actors that get bribes from foreigners to work for foreign interests. These are both corrupt and traitors, and we are monitoring their activities. If they do not stop, and with evidence, we shall deal with them also. As part of fighting corruption, it is crucial to save the amateurish political actors who come into politics without knowing that leading people does not mean carrying them on your head. It means that you show them the way. The situation of inexperienced careerist-minded leaders who do not listen to the advice of the NRM is further complicated by the bloodthirsty parasites in the form of the unregulated money lenders who charge extortionate interest rates from these desperate political actors when they come to borrow money for unuseful expenditures. I've already directed the Minister of Finance to cap the interest rates chargeable by money lenders. The inflation rate in Uganda is 3%. Why should the commercial banks charge 20% interest? How about the money lenders charging 36% or more? This is pure extortion. The PDM and the Myoga funds are going to become the poor people's banks, able to lend at 12% or less after 24 months. We are going, this PDM money, people are trying to sabotage it, but I can hear it is beginning to penetrate. People are beginning to understand it now. They are beginning, slowly, the villagers are beginning to appreciate. That's what I hear. The other source, I have already directed the Attorney General to guide the Minister of Finance as to how he can criminalize this extortion by the money lenders. The other source of corruption has been the fundraising that is borne mainly by the opportunistic politicians over-anxious to please parts of their electorate by pledging money for the fundraising that they do not have. We are due to meet to resolve this diversion. I agreed with the reason that we should meet and really discuss the issue of fundraising, because this is part of the pressure that makes leaders make mistakes. Uganda's economy and society are moving forward, the mistakes by some actors notwithstanding. I was reading some comments, especially in the Monitor. You know, Monitor is a mouthpiece of foreign interests here, the Monitor newspaper. Oh, talking about this, talking about this. There's one of them who was writing today. I glanced through, was saying that Uganda has low inflation by fortune. That is by fortune. Imagine. He doesn't want to say that NRM has managed the economy well. That's why inflation is low. That it is a mixer. It was fortune that we have got low inflation. It's not fortune, it is planning. Monitor Bambi Mbasaside. But Monitor, the other time, I saw a cow talking. When you see a cow talking, then you know that Jesus is about to come. You showed me that picture of the Monitor. Abantu bange muntekero akamonitor ako. Bring it properly. Over the tune. Naye abalabe balina omulimu wano basabotaginga enkuba eremye ate kati batandise. Now Ugandans turn to local products to combat high cost of living. You remember our war with the importers. This was Lekerao, hold it there. This was Uganda Monitor newspaper. A cow talking. Saying that because we put tax on the imported products, imported dead people's clothes, and that rubbish from outside, that now Ugandans turn to local products. This was, which date was this? 30th of what? Of May. You people, you get, monitor ente etandise okwogera. A cow is talking. Because that's what we said. Why don't you buy the local textiles which are being made here? So Katonda jali abamonitor Katonda abayisemu okwogera ebyamazima. But otherwise they were trying to, thank you very much, you can move on. Otherwise, in today's papers, trying to say, oh, this one, but you listen carefully. I will conclude with that. Uganda's economy and society are moving forward. The mistakes by some actors notwithstanding. The foreigners interfering in our internal affairs are not a threat at all. There is no foreigner who can threaten us. No foreigner can threaten us. I have written a piece I will share with the Ugandans on that. The real threat to Africa's progress have been internal weaknesses, such as undermining the private sector. I mean, 1972, when he expelled the Indians, and Museveni, 1970, when he announced the national announcements, interfering with the private sector. Wrong concept of army building, sectarianism, corruption, etc. Otherwise, Africa's ability to defeat the imperialists had been demonstrated by Samora Machel defeating the entire Portuguese army in Mozambique in 1974, Robert Mugabe and ZANU defeating the Ian Smith regime in 1980 in Zimbabwe, the Cuban army comprised mainly of black soldiers defeating the White Boer army at Quito Cuanavale in Angola in 1988, etc. So our armies defeated European armies in the 1970s. It is our internal weaknesses that have since that time given the impression that Africa is weak. NRM has correct philosophical, private sector-led efforts, ideological, the politics of interest and not identity, and sectarianism, and strategic wealth creators and integration to create markets for their products' positions. That is why the economy is growing in spite of the betrayal by the parasites. With the crushing of the corruption, Uganda, given our overall correct positions, is unstoppable. Everything else is in place. What is the problem now is just corruption. In the budget speech, I will add some more information on this line, saying that everything else is in place now. It is only corruption and a few other mistakes that can sabotage what we are doing. Therefore, the Right Honourable Speaker, I thank the Parliament for the following laws you passed since my State of the Nation address. Those laws are put in Annex 1. I put it as Annex 1 in this speech. In the coming year, the Executive will present the following bills to Parliament for enactment into law. I attached them as Annex 2. They will be attached to the speech. Finally, I want to salute the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and the NRM MPs. In the past, there was a risky and shallow tendency by some actors that would try to use Parliament to undermine the Ugandan revolution, which is part of the African revolution. This, of course, was a miscalculation that was provocative, but we managed to handle it peacefully. Right Honourable Speaker and your team I congratulate you for working harmoniously with the executive. I'm told some of the foreigners are saying that Anita Mongo, because he doesn't undermine the executive, she's not a good speaker because she should be Okulemesa, government. Very risky miscalculation. In the recent budgeting process, Honorable Speaker, I congratulate you for working harmoniously with the executive. I also want to salute the judiciary. In the recent budgeting process, you came together and you were able to synthesize a rational and transparent budget for the country. I called these people. You know, these are like school children. That there is executive somewhere, then there is a parliament somewhere else, then there is judiciary somewhere else. They don't meet. Then this one budgets, then brings the other one. I said, but why don't you first agree together? You are all here in Uganda. Your address is here. Why can't you meet and you look at the whole budget? They came and they looked at it, and the budget they brought was harmonized by the three arms. They were able to see that we need this, we need that, we need that. So I want to thank the Parliament and the judiciary. In the recent budgeting process, you came together and were able to synthesize a rational and transparent budget for the country. Now, on the issue of the corruption, my advice is you should make a distinction between mistake makers and dishonest people. Dishonesty is the worst. But making mistakes, especially for many people who have not listened carefully, it's not. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why many times I try to help out groups who have made mistakes. But what I cannot tolerate is like this question of saying, we give money to this ministry, but we take a percentage of it as individuals. This is dishonesty. It's not a mistake, it's a crime, it's a betrayal. Or the ones who go abroad, these foreigners have been approaching our people. They all bring reports. Have been approaching our people. You go and make a bad report against the government of Uganda, and we shall give you an award. And the award will have so much money attached to it in Europe. I wish them good luck. That money of betrayal, we are following it up. We are following it up. They think that we are fools. I don't know why they think so. But we follow all of that. So those two, the dishonest and the traitor, are the ones we are targeting. The mistake makers, we can cancel them and show them how to do things. Because if we are to punish all the mistake makers, we will have nobody to work with. Because they don't know what to do. They don't listen. There are so many languages. This one is saying that. This one is saying that. So dishonest, foreign agent, mistake maker. Those are three people who need to be handled differently. In the recent budgeting process, you came together and were able to synthesize a rational and transparent budget for the country. I want to end by congratulating the UPDF, the Uganda Police Force, the intelligence services, and the prison services for guarding the 3 million pilgrims that were at Namgongo recently. I salute all the Ugandans for the good work you are doing.